Hello, I'm Jill from the Bromley Common Congregation, and today we're looking at James 1 verses 9 to 11. And I've called this one Changing Your Perspective. Let me read it to you. Believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation, since they will pass away like a wildflower. For the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls, its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade away, even while they go about their business. So when James wrote this letter, the Christians he was writing to, they were mostly a bunch of poor people. They weren't the wealthy, the elite ones in society. They were in humble circumstances. And their position was completely changed by Jesus. And also the rich ones, the ones with the material wealth, they had the temptation to rely on trusting their material possessions, and their position was also changed by Jesus. So there are 3 points I'd like to make today, and the first one is there's a word to the humble. James is addressing that large proportion of all early Christians who had no material gain whatsoever to brag about. And he says to the lowly brother to take pride in their high position. What position is he talking about? They have low status in terms of money, in terms of assets, but they have the highest status possible in the terms of the fact that they are in Jesus. And he says, don't worry if you don't have a lot of riches, be proud of who you are in Jesus. The lowliest Christian is eternal royalty with endless riches through their faith in Jesus. And the second word is a word to the rich. James says that a rich Christian is humbled. Not only is humble, but says that they should boast about it or be proud about the fact that they are humbled. Well, this humiliation, this humbling, is not an embarrassment. It's just taking a lower position. It's being humbled. It's being brought low and humbling ourselves by coming before the cross of Jesus and saying, I'm nothing. Jesus is everything. And when you ask how long will your riches last? Well, at best, to the end of your life. Maybe not even that long. So why would we put our emotional fulfillment in something that's guaranteed to be so temporary? It will fade, and that is guaranteed. James doesn't condemn the wealth of the rich Christians, but he compares life on this side of eternity to a wildflower. It's beautiful, but alarmingly temporary. And the third word is a word to us all. James gives that illustration of the flower to point out what will happen to the riches of the wealthy. And just as beautiful things in nature pass away, eventually pass away, so does the beauty of riches. Having money itself is not the issue, it's how we value the money. And so money can potentially tempt us, and I've got 3 suggestions. 1, that we allow money to validate our personal worth. 2, that we allow money to function as our security. And 3, that we allow money to give us the perception that we've gained position or power. And for many of us, money does tend to become the focus of our lives because we have these false ideas about what money may do for us. But looking at this passage, it addresses each of these 3 temptations. Firstly, we're not validated by money. We are validated by the sacrificial and saving love of Jesus Christ. Secondly, we're not secured by money because all that we have will eventually fade away. And thirdly, the position and power that money offers is temporary and incomplete. But the prize that we have in Christ is perfect, it is eternal, and it is complete. So as Christians, we do not live for fleeting earthly fame and fortune. We live for the riches of heaven as we walk in the footsteps of a poor and humble carpenter. Be blessed. Amen.